This is the Amp Hour Podcast. Released February 11th, 2025. Episode 688. The Tandy Train.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble of Contextual Electronics.
I've run out of cash again.
You
have no idea what I'm talking
about. Are you talking about like folding dollar bills?
Oh, no, not cash as in cash.
I guess you say cash. You say cash.
We can say cash here in Australia.
That's what I say. But I say cold, hard cash.
Cold, hard cash. Cash.
Just to really throw things around, yeah. Yeah, okay.
My business ran out of cash again. It happened.
Man, it's been tough times. You know, Dave's Patreon link will be down below. You can,
right.
It's falling on hard times.
Exactly. Can't feed the kids, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. Bloody hell.
Can't feed the meter even outside. Do you say that, feed the meter? Do you, like if you, do you guys say that?
Well, we do have meters here. We do actually have parking meters. Yeah, talking about parking meters, right?
Parking meters,
yeah. We have parking meters here, but we don't, you know.
So it's actually pretty hard to find one that still takes coins, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly. I think there are still a few here, but yeah.
I gotta, I don't know. I gotta go tap the meter, I guess it would be like if you got to tap to pay, right?
Right. I find they don't work half the time. When I go to I don't know if you've got the same experience. Oh, right, okay. But no, every time I go anywhere, especially outdoor ones, because they just get abused to hell, and the buttons are all faded. You can't read the screens, and then they won't accept your card because I don't know. However, they're getting the internet there is dead.
Yeah, the skimmers too. You know, they get in the way.
Right. Skimming machines. Still haven't found one of those. I'm kind of bummed that I've never found a skimming machine, because that'd be great.
It would be fun. Yeah, there's like the video. You see like the video, like YouTube Shorts or TikTok, and
actually
like
tearing
lifting up
them
the
off.
top of the. Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it takes much. You know, it's basically like an NFC coil.
No,
and
it doesn't make much. Yeah.
I don't think they're doing. I think they're doing tap to pay versus doing a. Because you just tap it twice. That didn't work.
The old school swiping. Like I don't like. Does anyone actually swipe anymore? Like in the actual do, strip,
In the States,
you still do the
can.
Strip.
You don't. I mean,
right.
I remember you telling me. I think when I visited there, so many years ago, it was like tap to pay wasn't a big thing here yet. It had been a little bit, but you're like, everybody here is tap to pay.
Yeah, everyone was tap, and that was God. How many years ago were you here? 5?
8.
8? Was it 8 years ago? Crikey.
5 years ago.
Yeah, we were all
5 years
tap
ago
back
was the start of the pandemic, man.
Oh, right. Oh, jeez. Oh, God, don't remind me. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Stupid me.
We are in 2025, we should say.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
New Year, friend. Yeah.
Yep.
I guess you were walkabout, so.
Yeah, I went walkabout. And, but, bloody things don't work. Stupid machines don't work. I actually had to insert it the other day. I didn't swipe it. I can't remember the last time I've had to magnetic swipe the strip, but I had to insert it once because it didn't.
That's like you mean the chip and pin.
The actual chip and pin, the exposed contacts on the little chip inside. Yep, yeah. So I had to insert the thing because the tap wouldn't work. But tap's basically everything here, and everyone uses their shoe phone. Because it's got or their Apple Watch, I see people with their little stupid Apple Watch thing, and they're tapping it on the screen at the grocery store, paying for their groceries.
I mean, that's the thing. It's really, really convenient.
I've got to admit it is. Like I did actually forget my wallet the other week. I went down to the local shopping centre, and I totally forgot my wallet, and I go, oh, God.
My pocket watch, and I forgot my billfold and my...
Yes, and my... Oh, boy.
My change purse. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of
my
like
top
old
hat. Yeah,
old
my
school
old top
money.
hat.
Yeah, my monocle. Yeah, right.
Yeah, my monocle. I wonder if we can do a AI image of me wearing a monocle and a top hat. Ooh. Maybe.
I'll just
something like that.
I'll just draw one on you, man. MS Paint that thing.
Cool. Yeah, Photoshop that bastard right on.
Yeah, right.
So. So I actually I had to use my shoe phone for the first time as a tap and go thing, and I thought, I'll just open, because I do actually have them programmed in there into Google Pay, right? Because I've got an Android phone, none of that Apple rubbish. And so I've got my cards programmed in there, but I usually use it online as a Google Pay thing, which actually works fairly well. So I've got the business card in there, I've got the private card and everything. So I thought, I wonder if that just works, or do I have to go in and enable the bloody NFC? But I opened up the app, I chose the card, and I just put it there, and it worked. It was like, magic. I can see why people like this, Yeah, because they carrying their shoe phone everywhere, but they don't have their wallet, Whereas I'm still an old school wallet guy. I still keep cash in there, except when I run out in my business.
Except when you run out. This is what you want to talk about.
Cash
this
flow.
Is because,
yes.
Is this because you had to feed the meter?
I had to. Yes.
Did you see what I did there?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Okay, very nice. Okay. Yes, I will. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll pay that one. Pun intended.
Yep.
Well, I can't because I'm broke. Oh boy. Anyway, so yes, I had to order like a couple of major shipments for meters because I buy a lot of meters because I sell a lot of meters. So therefore, I got to buy a lot of meters and buy them in bulk. I'm talking, 500-600 at a time kind of thing, right? In fact, this show might get interrupted by a delivery of said 20 boxes of multimeters. So, and like several of them came at once, and we're talking six figures here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
hardware businesses are not low cash. Yeah.
No, and well, the worst part is I buy the companies sell in Yankee bucks, Freedom bucks, right?
Yeah, that
and
sucks.
Of course, the Aussie dollar at the moment's in the toilet.
Yeah,
so it's like 61 cents or something. So I'm buying right at the,
really?
right at the, so I'm buying right at the rock bottom.
61 cents?
61 Aussie cents to a Yankee buck.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think that's the thing. I usually look at it in the other direction, so I'm like, it doesn't look as bad.
Right, yeah, it's 1 point. Yeah. Whatever, no, but I look at it in the, the other way, and it's,
take a trip.
So, so if I get a thing for like $40,000, nope, sorry, that's like 65, Aussie or something.
Yep.
So it's killer. And you get a couple of those in a row and bam, I've run out of operating cash. So cash flow.
Yeah,
it's a big deal for businesses who are in,
totally.
When you're actually in the hardware business and you've got to buy stock and, So you have to keep that cash buffer there. And I do keep a cash buffer. I've mentioned before that I try and keep like $100,000 cash buffer in the business just for this, right?
Sure.
But no, when, 2 or 3 of them all come at once and bam. Mm-hmm. And
Well, you're also it's interesting too because like you are probably still riding waves from 6 to 12 months ago in terms of like pricing, like in terms of like forecasting and pricing and all that stuff.
Oh, yes.
Because you're buying from a manufacturer who's ultimately buying parts that is then dealing with the supply chain then.
Yes.
So like the actual ripple effect from...
Oh, it's so crazy.
So if there was like a thing that happened today, it probably wouldn't ripple through to you until you put an order in like 12 to 18 months, right?
Exactly. And it goes up. Yep. And I might buy stock that lasts for 6 months, for example.
Right, exactly.
It depends on the product, but
Sounds
crazy.
like you need an ERP system, my friend.
Oh, well, I was thinking about that, but it's like my needs are so small. Like, I've basically got, half a dozen products. It's like, it should be possible on like just a spreadsheet or something, but I need something to like alert me but then I need it to tie into my Shopify stock, but even then I don't keep my Shopify stock thing up to date. It's not like 500 meters come in and then I suddenly go put 500 on my Shopify store because I don't know whether or not I'm going to send some to Amazon or what I'm going to do, So it's like, ugh.
Chaos monkey, huh?
Yeah. So anyway,
it's
a pain in the ass. So oops. So I had to sell some of my investments to actually pay for the meters.
Oh, jeez. There you
I
go.
didn't really want to sell them, but I needed the cash, so whoops. Oh well, shit happens.
Goes. That's how it goes, yeah.
But the hardware business
there goes
is
the
hard.
Pokemon cards and the Beanie Babies.
The what babies?
The Beanie Babies? Come on, man.
Right, I've heard of them, but I kind of, I have
those
to look
are big
up
in like
Beanie Babies.
there was like a fervor over them. They were basically like the Dutch tulips of the 2000s, the early 2000s. Actually, no, sorry, that's too late. it was like mid to late 90s. It was when as eBay got popular, basically.
Right.
That's when Beanie Babies were happening.
I wasn't really into the Beanie Baby. Like is each one like an individual different kind of thing? Is it that kind of?
Yeah. It was like a collector item, and they would do like special releases, but they're literally like beanbags.
Yeah,
like
but they're not
animals.
all different, right? So they're not like every.
There was like rare ones.
Yeah, but they will make multiples of them. They're not like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Cabbage Patch Kids also had multiples, right?
No,
sure.
I thought Cabbage Patch Kids were all unique in some way, weren't they?
Yeah, because they belong to you, Dave, and you got to give them hugs. No, I don't know.
I think they were. Well, what was the one I'm thinking of that, each one was like different? Like there was never two that were truly identical. I don't know.
It's paradoxical. I actually don't think that's as valuable in a marketplace collector system, right? I think what you really want is you want
you want
lot
scarcity.
that are the same,
a lot
and then
of
you
the
want
same,
a
and then you want
couple
the scarcity. Yeah.
that have defects or like slightly different, so that those become collector's items.
Totally.
Anyways, Beanie Babies failed because the company that made them got super greedy and then started making more of them and then devalued their own stock in bean bags.
Yep.
Bean bags.
Bean bags?
I mean, they're like little bean bag.
They're little
the
bean
beanie.
field. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like bean field, teddies.
They are
or
worthless
something,
trinkets that people ascribed a lot of value to. Can you think of other things in the modern day that maybe are the same way, Dave?
I've got a segue. Used test equipment. Old
I was
going to
say
equipment.
Bitcoin or crypto or what's the
Nope.
What are those stupid images?
Nope. I will not try and educate you on crypto because you're uneducatable.
That's very correct. So anyways, used test equipment, that's a much better segue. Thank you.
Anyway, so I found this link. It was on the EV Blog forum. This guy, I guess, who calls himself the Emperor of Test Equipment. And have you got the link?
I don't.
It's on the Reddit there. It's like at the top of the Reddit. Should be at the top of the Reddit or pretty close.
Okay.
Very tippity top.
Emperor of Test Equipment. I see it.
Yes, there you go. Have a click. And it's just one gigantic page of every single bit of test gear that he owns. And then he's got histograms of when he bought, and then he actually analyzes the data on all this test equipment, and he's got histograms.
He says right at the top, I do not go out of my way to publicize his URL other than a few random posts. This is gonna go the other direction for him. He's gonna. I guess he's probably already at the forum. He's got way more traffic from the forum than you would from this. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
So, this is great. And if you scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you might have to actually hit the end button because it's a huge, massive page. He's actually got some stats, and he's actually counted all of the knobs and switches and front panel LEDs and BNC jacks, and he's got 88 multimeters, 38 oscilloscopes, 11 logic analyzers, 58 function pulse gens,
and a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh god, it's just great. It's great, and he's got photos of most of them. I think it's just
Yeah, this is a true labor of love. I gotta say,
yeah, totally.
There's a whole section on dead equipment and It's not dead. It's just waiting to donate. It's just waiting to donate its parts.
Well, someone on Twitter pointed out that there's a difference between hoarding, because this is not hoarding. This isn't hoarding. Oh, okay. This is because he has curated these, right? So that is, Fran says this because she's people think that she's a hoarder because she's got 2 storage vaults full of just like floor to ceiling of all these tubs of old stuff. Right? And no, she insists that the difference between hoarding and collecting is curation. So when you curate them, like this guy has, then, you're officially not a hoarder. So congratulations.
Yeah. I'm a museum keeper.
Yes. The keeper of the vintage.
I'm a museum keeper of tiny baggies of resistors then.
What? You like to are you talking about like the little mouse and DigiKey bags?
I wouldn't say I like to keep them, but I would say I compulsively do keep them. Like if there's one resistor in one cut tape in a tiny baggie from DigiKey.
Yeah.
I'll throw it in the bin.
Oh, right. Okay, so you will throw. I thought you were going to say you're going to keep the one resistor in the one tape in the one baggie.
I do.
Sorry. I thought so. So you don't throw it in the bin.
I throw it in the bin. What do you think? I threw it out? What am I, a psychopath? I'm going to need that, Dave.
Oh, right. No, you threw it in the junk bin, not the bin.
Oh, sorry.
Bin.
In the bin of resistors. I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, this is a language different. This is a vocabulary.
This is yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah. No, I'm literally staring at a bin of resistors.
Yes.
But I'm saying it as like a bucket or a container.
It's a storage container.
Yeah, you say bin like trash bin.
Sorry. Yeah, a trash bin. Yes.
Yeah, no, gosh, no. Why would I throw it out? I mean,
I know. It's one perfectly usable resistor.
There is no higher high to a hardware engineer than to find that one part that you just knew you had and you needed it.
Oh my God, have you seen the video? Oh, I wonder if I can. I'll try and find it in the background here. But it's this video of it like spoofing exactly that. Like the guy finally found the bit of wood that he's been keeping for 20 years. You've seen that one?
It's the father and son. It's a
the
YouTube
father
short or
and
TikTok.
Son. It's a shorter TikTok or something. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that thing's got like 40 million views too.
Right,
it's really good.
It's incredible.
Definitely send that to my dad. That was like classic.
It's incredible.
Anyone who's got like a workshop full of like
will
offcuts
certainly
of wood,
understand that.
Yeah. Speaking of this weekend, the mechanical bench is going back up in the new garage. It's been in piles, and I've told myself I've carved out time, and it will be installed this weekend. That is what I've told myself. We'll see how realistic that gets.
So you're actually using a garage not to store your cars?
Oh no! This is a big garage. This is like I heard some of the sweetest words I've ever heard, which was my wife saying, "As long as I can walk around the cars, you can put whatever you want in here."
Oh,
and
right.
so that means,
all right. Okay.
I don't think she understood the depth of milling machines and just like
so are the cars still in there?
Yeah, they can fit the cars, and then there's probably like
how many square meters?
2.5 meters past the front of the car to the back of the garage. So there's it's a 2-car garage.
Decent. Yeah,
it's a good size, and then there's like
that's decent.
a thing off to the side too where the workbench is going to. I got very, very lucky on this. Yeah. The only downside, of course, is that it's hot as hell here sometimes.
Oh yeah, no.
But I can work with that. I can sweat a little.
I used to have my lab out there, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and you
where
spiders.
I started. Spiders and everything. Yeah. And birds chirping outside and snakes coming in.
I remember. Do I remember?
Yep.
So to listeners, they're still in the recordings. Go back to the early days, folks.
Yeah, go back to the early days, and I thought about I should do that. I thought about just because I do actually have recordings of those birds, so I thought just scattering them in the background, at a low amplitude in my videos to see if anyone notices.
I mean, you should just do it in your office. You just have them playing.
Yeah,
and it feels like home.
Yeah, it feels like I hate my garage, so it's too small. As you said, like yours goes like 2.5 meters past the back of the cars. Well, technically, so does mine. Well, maybe 2 meters or something. Yeah, but it goes past the cars. But then we've got a laundry there and a cupboard as well. Yep. So that just takes up everything. So
Yep.
And now I've got a home storage battery there, and so there's zero room at all.
I'm getting a quote on solar this week too. Oh, man,
excellent! You're finally getting
lots
solar.
of news.
Okay.
Yeah. We got some trees trimmed, and
I was going to say because you kind of have a tree issue there, don't you? So
I'm not sure.
You won't get early morning sun or late afternoon sun, will you?
My roof is unfortunately pointed. The biggest part of the roof is pointed west, so it would only be afternoon sun for the main part. But the garage actually has a pretty decent sized roof as well, and that faces due south, which would be and that's like very clear of trees now, and I think it can hold a decent amount of solar. So that's really what I'm going to be pushing for.
What's a decent amount? What have you sized it up?
I haven't gotten the quote yet. I'm not doing it
5
myself.
kilowatt. Oh, you're not doing it yourself. You can get the data sheet of the panels. They're about 1.8 meters by 1 meter.
I don't know how big the roof is. I don't know. I don't know.
Get up there, dude, with the tape measure.
I don't have time for this, man. I don't have time for this. I'm going to have the professionals do it and just be done with it. Didn't you have professionals? You had professionals do yours, right?
Yeah, but I specified everything.
Okay.
I got up there and told them how many I wanted and how many could fit and where to put it and blah, blah, blah.
How did they like that, Dave?
Well, I paid them and they did what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm likely to be sold to a little bit more.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
I'm really optimizing for like tax breaks and like
right.
system
So do
setup
you have
and
like
low
state?
hassle.
Do you have like state incentives there or something? Or
Yeah, there's a little bit of state. Actually, it's I'm on Duke Energy, and so that's the name of the power company here. And they have like a big break right now. It's like per kilowatt hour of battery plus solar, because they want to offload the grid a little bit. And so if you install a combo, then they'll give you Duke money, and then there's also federal.
Right. Oh, okay. So it's not state money; it's federal money. Uncle Sam money.
30% tax credit right now.
Right. Wow.
And then Duke also had another thing at one point where they have like a lottery, but it's like only 1 out of every 3 can get it's like actually money from Duke, but I don't know if they're doing that still. So
all right. So
again, I got to talk to a salesperson for this sort of thing, Dave.
Right. So you don't even know what sort of battery. They'll just give you whatever they are flogging. Is that the idea?
They had 2 listed. They had a Powerwall and a what's the AC coupled one that's Enphase? Is that the popular one?
Enphase doing AC. Enphase is AC coupled.
Yeah, I think it was
right.
So, but this is like one provider out of many, 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 many. I want to talk to one and get like a baseline, and then I'll start talking to others. And
well, it'll be.
Don't at me, bro.
it'll be very expensive because.
No doubt.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, sounds like fun.
Except for the dealing with salespeople,
Right, yeah. Unfortunately, the battery that I got is not compatible with the plan that everyone talks about here. There's this company called Amber Energy who do like trading. You can get apparently up to $8 per kilowatt hour feedback. Yeah, $8, not cents.
They're getting carbon credits, aren't they? Are they doing carbon credits?
No, they just do it during extreme peak periods, right?
Huh.
So so you give them full control, and then they will like during extreme peak periods. Yes, the wholesale rate of that power could be $8 per
because it's like
hour.
Preventing you from kicking on another plant or whatever, right?
Something like that, something like that, yeah. So it's at the wholesale level, and everyone raves about it, and I'm going, great, but
just
my
as a
battery's
baseline, what's the normal rate per kilowatt hour?
5 cents per. I'm getting paid 5 cents per kilowatt hour feeding.
As a consumer, sorry.
As a consumer, 30 to 33 cents per kilowatt hour.
Yeah. So like 25x almost.
Oh yeah.
24x.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's extreme.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that means they're making margin on top of that. So
yeah, of course. So it's crazy. Anyway, but the flip side is if you're not careful and you don't switch it off at the right times, like as in disable the system or whatever, they will steal it. If you're exporting energy to the grid, they will charge you.
Oh, because you're overloading it.
You're overloading the grid, so they will charge you massively. So it's a delicate dance there to sort of get that feed in, but not give anything back to them. So you've got to like actually switch off your inverter. Like, oh no, I'm going to get charged dollars per kilowatt hour to feed it back in. I'm getting massively,
that's
penalized. So so you got to be careful. But
I guess it is kind of the benefit. Like it is truly like a market system like that.
It's a decentralized market system. Yes, and
someone's getting hosed. That's the downside, right? You might be making 8, but someone else is paying it. So yeah,
it's a big club and you ain't in it.
And what was that called again? Amber. You said Amber, like AMBER?
Amber. Yes, AMBR. So if you search for Amber Energy or something, Australian website, amber.com.au, and if you go to their solar and battery solutions, cool. They support every battery except the one I have, unfortunately. So I can't even experiment with it. Well, I might be able to. There is a backdoor way into the system, and I have signed up for an alternative service which then plugs into Amber. So I've actually signed up for that to see if I can sort of bodge it in a way. Anyway, I'm waiting to hear back from that company who they've partnered with, which if your battery's not supported, you can still kind of sort of do something with them. I don't know. So we'll see. Anyway, good luck with your solar adventure.
Yeah, Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But it's a huge amount of money up front. You know, you have to have the coin up front to do it. So, or is it on a...
There is financing.
I was going to say you're on a financing plan. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So you won't have to pay the 30 grand up front or whatever it is.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. All right. Good luck.
I hope what was the
Uncle
last
Sam
time you
through.
and I... What was the last thing we were speaking about before you went on vacation? I don't even remember.
You seriously expect me to remember that?
I don't know. You didn't go. You didn't go like on a bender, did you? I don't know.
No, but I don't remember. I don't remember details. I never have remembered details of previous episodes.
Yeah.
Why do you think I'm going to start now?
All right. Well, I guess I'll look at some list of things here then.
Well, no, I've got plenty to talk about, dude.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's fine too. I guess I was asking about old things. What would you like to talk about this week, Dave?
I've got a list of stuff.
I have a list of stuff.
Oh, excellent. Well, I mentioned it first, so I'm going to start first, damn it.
Okay.
Just before the show, because I know you're not following me on X because you don't use X anymore.
That's right.
Sad for you. And I was literally just before the show, I was seeing if I could generate a 3D CAD file in OpenSCAD using AI with a text input. Because what I wanted to do, I've got a Tandy 200 vintage computer, which I just did a video on, and it doesn't have a battery door on it, like, one of those slide-in battery doors, on the back of it, right? So the batteries just fall out, and everyone's going, just 3D print one. And I go, yeah, okay, if I had any CAD skills that are worth a dime, I could do it. But then I thought, hey, well, like I've actually heard about this, that OpenAI and other large language models were capable of generating OpenSCAD files and other CAD files. So I thought I'd give it a go. And I can actually send you I don't know if you've got access to X, but I can send you a image of what I'm doing at the moment. So you can, there you go. Boom. And this, I just sent you it in the
I see.
Google. Yeah. So I have not used OpenSCAD before. Well, I did like 13 years ago or something. So, but yeah, anyway, it did work, but the finer details of the battery, protrusion things that come out, and they have the little tabs on them, the battery tabs that come out, and then they sort of hold it in place, and it kind of didn't quite get it. And I've been through 9 iterations now, and it's close, and it just gets sort of I can't seem to massage it into place, but it's really cool. Like OpenAI, right? It actually puts the OpenSCAD code there for you, and then when you tell it to make a change, it actually goes through line by line of the code and actually regenerates it on the fly. It's really cool. It actually does the same thing for code as well, for C code and other stuff. Code for Python or whatnot. But it actually does it for SCAD as well, which is really cool. But yeah, it's not quite there. And it's not quite there. Some people on X are telling me, it's probably not going to work. So
it looks like this actually could work. So I'm just going to try and describe what it could looks like.
Yes.
It's like, so it's a bunch of elongated, it's basically 3D rectangles. And this one kind of looks like a log with a tiny stick next to it, but the stick is just off the log. And the little stick needs to be longer to cover up the log.
It needs to move it down. So at the moment, it's un-3D printable. So
but why not just modify that part yourself? Like you could select and find the code that's there.
But that's not the point. I'm trying to get it to work with
so at a certain
AI.
Point,
I'm doing this as an experiment.
You could always take a generated image and put it into GIMP or Inkscape, but you're saying I want the computer to do it.
I'm literally testing large language model AI to see if it's possible to generate CAD files with it. It's purely an experiment. Yes, I do want the end result of my battery door, but the whole idea at this point is to is to sort of massage it, is to use my vast prompt engineering skills to try and talk the AI into understanding what I want,
Yeah, and this is the time in a project when I'm using these kind of things that it gets very frustrating. Like when you know exactly what you want.
Yes, I know exactly what I want.
No concept of what you're trying to tell it.
Well, it's pretty close. It's not far off. Like it kind of does understand. It kind of does.
Yeah,
like
but if you're trying to like get it to cross the chasm of like,
yes,
hey, this actually is not physically possible.
It's that last 5%. Yeah, no, it just loses. Right. Yeah, it
is
loses
like you've used a printer before. You understand what it looks like. You understand the limitations, and it's just
and it just doesn't know.
Piece it together. Yeah. It is interesting that it could do this as far as it has. Sure.
Yeah. No, I just find it fascinating, and so it's not quite there, but it's interesting nonetheless. It gave me and interestingly, Grok. Gave me Grok also works, but its code looks different to OpenAI. Using the same text input, it actually generated different code. It was using for loops, whereas OpenAI uses unions or something. So translate union, something like that, which is interesting. So yeah. But they did produce basically a similar sort of basic result, but the fine details just aren't there, and I can't coerce it. So my next step is to actually to see if it can do images, because I have not done a video on this yet. But once again, I did put it on X, if you follow me there. I recently did a tutorial video on time domain versus frequency domain, complex numbers, RLC circuits and stuff like that, right? So I did a whiteboard tutorial. So I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if I could photograph the schematic on my whiteboard and then tell OpenAI to solve it? And bam, it got it. It got it. I was thoroughly impressed. It actually converted. I probably can't find it live now for you, but it converted complex, like it converted an RLC circuit. It understood what everything was. It understood my handwriting for one. It understood what minus J 100 ohms is, and
that took like 4 or 5 NVIDIA GPUs, I'm sure, just to get that going.
To understand my Dicky whiteboard handwriting, but it did it. I was stunned, and it knew exactly what it was doing, and it described step by step how it solved it. And then some people and I actually put that on X, and I went, wow, this is amazing. And everyone went, oh no, that's just nothing. And I'm like, I don't know, that's bloody impressive to me, because not only does it have to do image to text conversion, it's got to understand that it's a series circuit, and I didn't tell it anything. I basically just said solve this circuit, solve for the current flowing in this circuit. So it had to not only convert it into a circuit, it had to understand, okay, that's a capacitor, that's an inductor, that's a resistor. It had to understand the voltage source with the AC symbol, and then it had to understand that the voltage source was in polar form was 100 angle 0 degrees. It had to interpret that. And then it had to figure out that, okay, am I going to solve this in the time domain, or am I going to solve this in the frequency domain? And then, it was just, and then give you a complex number answer result. Are you kidding me? I was thoroughly impressed. And it got it. Yeah. Bam. I didn't have to massage it at all.
See, I think those kind of solutions where it's like it almost sounds like, I agree. This is impressive, no doubt. So like the image classification, the converting it to be a problem, but then like the problem set that looks like a textbook problem, at that point I actually do think that's what it's built for, right? Like that's what
it is what it's built for, but still I was impressed that it could do all of those things combined together without any massaging.
Yes.
So I think
though this is actually a good set of contrast between these two problems, because one is like kind of an open-ended, like, oh, make it look like this thing that is in the real world, and the other one is like, solve this thing that has an answer, right? That looks like a textbook. Like that's to me is like I've run into similar problems.
Right.
Also interesting is when you do. So I use this a bunch. I used it for doing troubleshooting. on like some Zephyr code that I wrote, and then a different time on like some Linux stuff I was dealing with.
Which tool are we talking about? OpenAI?
I did both OpenAI and I did Claude, which is the Anthropic version. And both just they donked because it was like there was just too much information. There was too many moving things. Like they weren't talking about the state of the art because they didn't know the state of the art, which is totally fine. And so it was just like just guessing. And it's like it's fine. Right. It's like what I would have been doing anyways. So
right.
Yeah.
Someone X suggested that I didn't approach it in the right way, the open SCAD thing, and they said I should preempt the chat. I should prime the large language model by saying, be exhaustive, be accurate at the cost of seed. Time is important. Time is not important. Accuracy is. And then assume the persona of a highly skilled, accurate, and informed open SCAD file generation engineer. And it's like, oh God.
To me, that sounds like the equivalent of like, well, I just talk louder when I'm speaking Spanish and they understand me better. Say it with more gusto.
That just sounds silly. Yeah. That just, no, I shouldldn't have to do that. That's just, it's crazy. But anyway, so I was going to do a video on that. I probably will still do that. Just
it would be
showing
interesting
how
to
it's
see
capable
other stuff
of
in there.
doing that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I was going to maybe try some other examples,
KiCad
make
files,
it more complex.
other stuff like that. You could.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's similar like text-based outputs that it is doing and maybe could be rendered, and it probably has consumed, or it being LLMs generally.
Yes.
Still not quite there for solving all problems, right?
Oh no, it's definitely not. Not
it's
even
okay with
not
me.
even close.
But you're right. There's a lot of great things.
But they're very useful. Yeah, they're still quite useful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And hey, even this, right? Even though I've never used OpenSCAD before, it actually gave me the basic template for my actual cover. It's there, and and you're right. I could just figure out how to tweak, drag, select that object, drag it down a little bit, and boom.
Yeah. I think if one thing OpenAI has as a feather in their cap, it got you to try OpenSCAD, which is I don't know many other things that would have done that, to be honest.
Right. Well, I think it said it can generate code for other CAD packages as well, but OpenSCAD was like.
It's very open. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here it is. I think it says Fusion 360, Tinkercad, or Blender.
Okay.
It can also do those, I think. So, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That's
anyway,
great.
so it doesn't have to be OpenSCAD. But anyway, so that's a kind of useful level at the moment, I'd say.
You can use it, Dave. To maybe you can use OpenSCAD to print a new case for your Pebble watch.
Why the hell would I want?
Oh, you didn't see the news today?
No.
Pebble. So today, Google did something that is very uncharacteristic for Google, and it didn't kill something.
What?
Yeah.
It's a red letter day.
I know. Yeah. So Google today, with the help of many former Pebble engineers. Then Fitbit engineers, now Google engineers. That's kind of the method. That's the path that Pebble has gone down. So Pebble got bought by Fitbit, got bought by Google. Google
I didn't know Google bought Fitbit.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Whatever.
Google has officially open sourced Pebble OS, which is the OS running on Pebble. And
are they still selling Pebble watches? Is that still a thing, or is it only for old people?
You can get them. I mean, people that have them love them.
Yeah, right.
I've never been a Pebble owner myself, but but today I hope I don't butcher his name. I think it's Eric Minkowski announced the what's it called? Sorry, the Repebble. Is it Repebble?
Okay.
Basically, they're bringing it. They're going to start manufacturing again on top of the now open source. Yeah, it's called repebble.com. So you could sign up for a future one. It's pretty cool. I mean, I think it's... So first off,
cool.
Hat tip to Google. Hey,
absolutely.
Credit where it's due, and all the engineers that made that happen. That's really cool.
Wow, Pebble died in 2016, according to the tombstone that's on that website.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. Yeah, because I had a Pebble watch. Didn't I take it through? Yeah, I took it through a mud obstacle course, and then I dissected it and...
Oh, that's how
I think I've got one in parts somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and
anyway.
wow. Boy, I should really have this ready. We had the former CTO of Pebble.
Yes. How long ago was that? 8 years ago?
That was a really long time ago. Andrew Whitty, yeah. Andrew was he went to the same school as I did. I remember that. Wow, this was episode 175.
Right.
We are on episode 688.
Yep.
So a while ago.
Wow.
But yeah, there apparently some people are going to start manufacturing that again. But I think in the short term, there's going to be more support for the people that are keeping their own Pebbles alive, which it seems like there's not a insignificant number of people. Obviously, they produced a lot in the first place.
Oh, and, I think there were millions of them. It was very popular.
It's very popular. Yep. So.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah, it's like happy
awesome.
news.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Happy news. That's upbeat for 2025. Yep. Yeah, I like it. Fantastic work. Yeah.
It's interesting reading this is like 20, I mean, this episode came out in 2012, it looks like. It must have been around that time frame. No, this must have been when they were doing a later one.
Okay.
We really got to add dates back into our posts because it's been so long.
Yeah, I know. I've often gone to the website and it doesn't have the date on it.
You're always just counting on someone writing a comment, you know?
It's really annoying. Yeah, can we modify the WordPress template or some shit?
Can we modify the WordPress? Dave asks. Yes.
Well, I can go in there and do it probably.
You know, I know who would be modifying the WordPress if you were going to go in there. Well, it's going to have some OpenSCAD code in there, I'm sure.
I'm pretty good at bloody WordPress, you know. I've hacked WordPress countless times over the years. Okay. Thank you very much.
Cool. Great. Yep. I think it's actually just our website is so old at this point. I'm afraid to touch anything, honestly.
Yeah,
this was December 10th, 2013 was that episode. So,
right.
They think they were on their second Kickstarter as that was happening.
Got it.
So, yeah.
Cool bananas.
Yeah, right. It's nice. But I do think there is some, they keep saying e-paper, but it's not really e-paper, I don't think. So Eric wrote on his blog, that's the one, we'll link that in to the show notes. It has links out to Repebble and all the other things. Always on e-paper, but it was a Sharp display. I remember that from the post. I remember that from the episode.
Yeah, well, Sharp is a memory LCD, they call it.
That's right. Yeah, it wasn't
memory LCD, which is technically different. It doesn't, because it uses an LCD. It's just ridiculously ultra mega low power. And it keeps the information in static SRAM on there, I believe.
Yeah,
and as long as you got the voltage on there, it takes NAFL current, like nanoamps of current or something. But it does store it in there. So if you turn off the power, I think it's dead ski.
Yeah.
From memory. Get it? I'm here all week.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boy.
Yeah. Well, it's exciting. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But good on you, Google. It's excellent good stuff. Yeah.
Well done. You want to know what I hate?
What do you hate, Dave?
Things that fix themselves.
That doesn't sound bad to me.
It doesn't sound bad, really. You've never had a faulty bit of hardware that you're about to work on, and then all of a sudden fixed itself. I see. You go, it just magically.
The gnomes that come in the night and just
magically fix it.
Got it. Yeah, because you start to question your sanity and stuff like that. You're this was broke. I swear this was broken. Yeah. What happened?
I literally said that in my video. Once again, I'm back to this Tandy 200 computer that I'm talking about with the battery door, right? Mm-hmm. I pulled it out of my archive and it didn't, I whacked some batteries in and it didn't work. It went I could hear something hiccuping inside, like the power supply.
What is a Tandy 200? I'm sorry.
A Tandy 200.
I'm too young.
Because you're a muso. Uh-huh. Okay. Tandy 200. I think it's Annie Lennox. Annie Lennox. I will give you.
Dreams are made of these.
You and I will disagree.
Who am I to disagree?
Who am I to disagree? Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay. There you go. I sent you a photo of
the folding screen. Oh, yeah, that's good stuff.
Annie Lennox using a Tandy 200. Yes. Yes, it's basically the same as the Tandy 100, which was the first ever notebook computer, basically.
Man,
And,
we are never, I don't care how much money AI tools make and whatever, we are never getting back to an era where someone as cool as Annie Lennox is on a train holding a Tandy 200. This is such a cool photo.
Dave, what's his name? Her partner.
I don't know. Sorry.
Dave is on her lap as well.
Yeah.
So she's got the laptop and he's just there lying on the lap. And Tandy 200.
This is like, she's very cool.
Just maybe
cool
this
people
can be the
don't do this kind of stuff anymore,
image.
Yeah.
Maybe this can be the thumbnail because it's just cool.
Well, I don't think we'd own this image, but
oh, come on, doesn't matter.
Maybe I'll switch Dave in here, and it'll be Dave.
Right.
On OpenAI's lap. How about that?
Okay. Yes. And as long as you modify the image, then it's
got to just modify it, right?
Yeah, you've got to modify it
now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's art.
So you have permission to Photoshop my head on Annie Lennox's lap. Oh,
okay.
Boy.
Yeah.
All right. Terrific.
He's wearing 2 watches. What is going on with this?
Oh, yeah, he is too. And then, can you please, while you're in the Photoshop, can you please modify the book to the art of electronics, please?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I'll just do this right after I change the site. Right after I tweak some WordPress. Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Boy.
So, anyes, Tandy 200. You have one of these.
Tandy 200. Yes. So I pulled out of the literally had it in the bunker. Pulled it out of the bunker. And put some, I can't remember why I got it out. Anyway, I whacked some batteries in it because it was working last time I used it. It was working fine when I put it away. And so I put some batteries, and then it's like hiccuping. There's this like hiccup sound, like the power supply's hiccuping or something like that, and the screen's flashing, and it's not booting up, this thing. And I try it multiple times, try different batteries and everything, and nope, it continually does this. And I thought, oh, great, a repair video, because I got the full service manual for this sucker. Back when service manuals were real service manuals, and they had theory of operation and flow charts, and they had bill of materials, and they had, schematics and PCB overlays and everything, right? So I thought, oh, yeah, great, a repair video, fantastic. So I set up all my my Tagano microscope bench to do, to clear it all out to do the repair and everything. Then I set it up here, main camera on the main bench, and I started recording and go, hey, welcome to a repair video, blah blah blah, and then I power it up, and it works, right on camera, and then it did it every time, every single freaking time. It was 100% fixed. Yeah. It was like, oh man. It was like, so I've got a couple. So anyway, I completed the video anyway and did like a teardown and speculation as to why.
Broke it at the end and then, did some editing magic and then you fixed it.
Right. No, see, I'm not that cool. So, yep, nor deceptive.
Deceptive. There you go. That's
yes.
me. Yeah. And I'm looking at, there's an ad on the vintagecomputer.com page for the Tandy.
Yeah.
There's an ad that must be from like a Radio Shack ad or something like that.
All right.
Add disk storage. So the unit itself, $9.99.
Yep.
Okay. State of the art at the time. Disk storage and video for a 184K floppy disk drive.
Yeah.
And expands with a second disk drive, $7.99.
Yep.
Wow. That's really something.
And you can buy the new Tandy 200 with multi-plan spreadsheet. Yeah.
Multi-plan. Man.
Multi-plan.
This is just like a...
And you can buy a barcode
my brain
reader.
cannot really and you would have to go to store. You had to go to store. You had to buy it. You probably had to talk to a salesperson who got a fat commission check off it. I just feel like I can't identify with this at all, I can hear the keys, how loud those friggin' keys are, but...
It is not part of your lived experience, huh?
It is not, yeah.
All right.
I mean, because even when, first computers, when I was I think we got one when I was 9 or 10.
Right.
I wasn't buying it.
Oh, goodness. Anyway, yeah, fantastic times. So I speculated on what could be the problem. It's possibly because there's one of those rechargeable batteries in there, right? That
really?
To store the memory, because there was no E squared. You got to remember, right? This is the mid '80s, right? Mid to late '80s. There was no E squared PROM. There was no flash memory, right? There was no solid state memory storage. So you backed it up
discs.
in SRAM. Well, if you could store it to magnetic media, you could store it to disk or to cassette tape. But but the main way you store, that's how you store stuff permanently. But if you just wanted to keep things alive and going, then you would get it would have a memory protection switch on the back. And that would simply that would divert the rechargeable battery through to the SRAM, and it would actually just keep the SRAM alive. So everything's just stored in volatile SRAM. And anyway, so I thought maybe because it's rechargeable, I thought maybe if that, of course, that would have been completely dead after being years in storage, right?
I mean, that would have been NiCad probably, right? It wouldn't have been like
it was
a
NiCad. It wouldn't have been. It wasn't lithium. Wasn't even nickel metal hydride. It would have been NiCad. Yeah. And so I thought, okay.
Whenever I think of NiCad, I think of like the portable screwdriver, like power screwdriver my dad had. That like.
Oh, really?
Over time, you would hit the button and just.
When I think of NiCad, I think of back when I was a kid, and this was a luxury back then. I had a Hornet, remote control. I had a Tamir Hornet.
Like the airplane?
No, as in a remote control car. The Tamir Hornet was one of the first build-it-yourself, super fast RC cars, right? You got it in kit form and you had to assemble it and everything. And and it used a NiCad battery, and it had this fast charger, and it came with this fast charger which you hooked up to your car battery. And it was just this mechanical timer. It was shocking. The abuse on that poor NiCad battery was phenomenal. It gets so hot when it was charging in 15 minutes. Boom. And it's like the abuse
Slamming
on that.
some amps.
So that's my memory of when I think of NiCad, I think of.
I'm getting all kinds of like stuff popping up from just from this ad even. Like there's a versatile barcode reader. And like my mind is immediately cast back to the library system.
Yes, the library system. Yes.
But do you remember like they had like just like the little old lady that was at the library?
Yes.
It was always just
like public library. Yep.
Yeah, and it was but it was like ASMR for me. Like I can still like harken back to it of like her scanning the barcode with a light reader, with a light barcode reader, and like man, it's just like
that wand, you would have that handheld wand, and you'd drag it over the barcode. You had to do it at the right speed.
You have to do it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times. But and it went into the mainframe system, and it went into the the deck VAX,
the deck,
VAX system or something, and boom,
I bet there's a YouTube video of just like
that out.
an old like librarian doing that.
Fantastic stuff. And then on top of that, they would still stamp. They would still date stamp the thing on the inside front cover,
the card.
the card on the inside.
For us,
they did cards. Okay, ours were usually like a stick-on thing, and you'd stamp the next slot in the thing with the date of,
And kids, if you're too young for that, go watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and you can see it in hilarious form.
The guy in the library,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Or go watch War Games even. War Games even when he goes to the library and he uses the microfiche.
Mm-hmm.
And then she go like, and then he and card index files. They can't, he's going through the card index files in War Games trying to find Professor Falcon's details, and she hands the index card to the librarian. She types it on the computer, and then out pops this from a dot matrix printer. He is actually deceased or whatever. So it would spoiler alert. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, so it was either that battery that I thought because if that battery's not if it's at some weird threshold voltage and it hasn't charged up yet, then maybe that could have been the cause of it, and it just took several goes to charge it up or something. It could have been reforming of the caps inside there because they haven't been used for so long, and all these got to remember the caps inside this thing are 40 years old.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be electrolytic. They're going to be dried out.
They're going to be dried out. And it's not just leakage you have to worry about. It's about, capacitor forming and stuff like that. So they can, but they can regain their capacitance. Yes, forming.
What does that mean?
Oh, forming is like I can't remember the exact chemistry, but it's like the how the plates, the charges form on the plates. Based
like
on
ions building up on one end or the other?
The ions building up on one side based on the electrolyte solution in there, and you can reform capacitors by putting a voltage on them for a long period of time, and you can essentially rejuvenate the capacitor, so to speak. So maybe it could have been that, something like that. I don't know. It could have been a combination. Who knows?
Maybe it was your pocket watch ticking in your pocket, and that's actually the clicking you heard, and the computer was fine the whole time.
No, I think I didn't have my top hat at the right angle. You've got to have your top hat at the right angle.
Maybe you were listening to an Annie Lennox song at the time, and it was coming out of your speaker, and you thought it was coming out of the computer.
Right. Oh, boy. Together in electric dreams, we'll always be together. Please tell me you've seen...
Actually, I don't know many Annie Lennox songs. Sorry.
Electric Dreams? Have you seen the movie Electric Dreams?
No. I'll add that to the list.
Dude. Electric Dreams. Oh, my God. The computer comes alive, and it talks.
Oh, I've seen Weird Science.
Oh, okay. Well, cringier than Weird Science, yeah.
Yeah, Weird Science wouldn't get made these days.
Right, no. It's great. Weird Science is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. And, anyway, so, yes, next on your watching list, I will quiz you the next time.
Okay.
We're together. Yep.
Great.
Electric Dreams. Edgar, I think, is the name of the computer. Edgar. Or is that the name of the guy in it? The guy that stars in it.
Yeah.
And you can watch it. You can watch it with your lovely wife. It's a love story.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, yes. Anyway, it's got the cool song. It's got the catchy song at the end, generated by Edgar the computer or whatever.
Yep.
Now I have to look it up, otherwise I'm just going to be bothered that I got that wrong. Which I have seen live, by the way. I've seen Phil Oakey live performing together in Electric Dreams. So, yep. I can't believe you don't know the song. It's classic 1980s synthesizer.
I will promise I will listen to it. I will.
Yes.
I will promise.
Yes, you've got to listen to the song because it is classic synthesizer 80s. In fact, it's almost the definition of 80s synth, sort of, music. So, yeah. Very cool. Electric Dreams. What date was that? 1984. Yeah. There you go.
Same year as Breakin'. And Breakin' 2. Electric
Breakdance here. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, none of that breaking rubbish.
Yeah, we've talked. I know.
I just posted literally the meme the other day of Jean-Claude Van Damme in his tights in Breakin'.
Yeah.
In his onesie tights.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, in the background. Yeah. Classic. I'm sure there's tons of people who have no idea what we're talking about.
It's okay. It's for them to go look up.
Yeah.
And you know what? You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed.
No, definitely not.
I think you probably watched the whole thing on YouTube probably at this point.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
You should. You should take some time, for yourself.
Oh, boy. Yep. Yes, Edgar's the name of the computer, I think. Miles is the guy in the... Who's the guy who buys this computer at the local computer store, takes it home, and, well, I won't spoil it for you, but the computer comes alive. Yeah. Number 5 is alive. You do know that, don't you?
Yeah.
Short Circuit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks. I'm actually surprised. I'm impressed that you know as much 80s stuff as you do, actually. Given your youthful age.
Yeah, I'm a child. Well, I guess I'm a child of the 90s if you think about like
you're a child of the 90s.
Stuff. But replays are a thing, and I've had you jabbering on about movies for a long time, so I think that probably has influenced me a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah. Good to hear.
Yeah. TBS.
All right. You want to know the other thing I hate?
What's that?
Speaking of which, another video I've done, high impedance inputs on PCBs. Leakage on PCBs. Because I did dirt and grime and oil and all sorts of crap inside your multimeter probes, because your multimeters that have the those input jack alert things, most of those use a very high impedance split. They have a split jack, so there's a split jack inside the amps jack, so that's how it actually detects that you've plugged the probe into the wrong jack, and then it beeps at you, warning Will Robinson, don't probe the circuit because you've chosen volts instead of amps, you dummy. So they use a split jack, and then a 5 meg resistor goes on, a real high impedance value resistor goes off to then a high impedance threshold detector circuit. And if you get any grime inside your dirt and grime or wet water or moisture inside your jack, then it's going to give you that warning error message even though you haven't plugged the probe in. And I've had quite a few meters actually. Quite a few people contact me because I sell a lot of multimeters, obviously, and they contact me and say, "Hey, my meter's beeping at me," and I'm going, "Clean the jacks," and it usually works.
That's like just some rubbing alcohol.
Usually some isopropyl alcohol in there, and give it a good blow job, and it's all good. Yep.
David.
What?
Okay.
Compressed air can. Compressed air can, dude. It's annoying, but it turns out that what the fault was in this meter that I was actually repairing, I did a repair video on, is it was inside, not inside the socket, but it was like inside the ABS material that the socket was made of. So the ABS has probably gone hydroscopic and it's absorbed moisture and it was permanently in there. And the act of actually heating up the socket actually drove out the moisture, drove out the high impedance.
Where was it leaking to in that case?
Well, it was leaking across the contacts inside the socket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's how it works. Yeah. So, yep.
So did you have like an electrometer you could like measure across that sort of thing?
Just I used a high voltage mega. Yep.
Yeah.
And another thing that hates, if you watch the video, spoiler alert, both of my megas failed on me. I've got 2 megas, so I got one out. I'll just try this. Nope, it failed. So I got another one out, a Keysight multimeter looking one that can measure at several thousand volts. Mega. Nope, LCD's failed. And the OLED display in it's failed. Doesn't bloody work. Man. As somebody said on Twitter, sorry, I would love to quote them, but there's my phone. No, I'm not answering that. I know who it is. And it's one of those people who'll be yapping on for hours, kind of thing. I can't do that.
Dave,
now.
I'm right here, man.
Right. As we're doing a show where we yap on for hours.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And where was I? Yeah, somebody on Twitter said, yes, the reason it's failed is, and like the reason that this old equipment fails is because if you don't, power up and stroke your test instruments once in a while, if you don't give them love, they will just die of sadness. So, or, something like that. So I thought that was really good. Yep. Power up your test equipment, kiddies. And
say hello to your old friends and
yeah.
Well, I mean, what about the guy that has 450 pieces of test equipment though? It would take him like 4 years. He'd have to loop back around and start over again.
Periodically, yeah.
Right.
Well, he needs to be
have to pay someone to come and like visit all of his stuff, Yeah,
but he needs to be like Sharia from the Signal Path. He just keeps everything plugged in. He's 200 bits of test gear. He just keeps them all plugged in, and then they're all
really?
in standby. Yeah, he's in standby mode. I think he said he uses like a kilowatt of like standby power or something.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, that's how calibration labs do it, right? They always.
Oh yeah, they just leave them on 24/7. Yeah, have to. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. But we won't go down that rabbit hole because our amp hour's up.
Oh man, I had one more thing to mention actually.
Oh well, go for it.
I got a board back from a manufacturer, and
Local?
I was like, international. It was JLC. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I was like, those folks, they left out my vias. So I had an RF trace, and I was like, I put vias stitching along the RF trace.
Yeah.
And it took me a solid hour of like raging about it, and I was like, oh, they actually started capping and like epoxy capping all the vias so that it doesn't show up on the actual silkscreen or on the solder mask anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it was very confusing at first.
Oh,
but yeah.
So you got the assembled board back, did you?
No, I just got just a PCB.
Oh, just the bare board.
Because it goes along a trace that's an RF like a controlled impedance RF
Yep.
trace. That's where I was like, I thought there was vias. I like went to the file, like, did I send the vias in the files? I sent the vias, but you can't see any vias, and that's yeah.
They actually
that's the first time
them,
I've never paid for that. I've never paid for that before. So yeah, just keep an eye out if you get that option.
Trap for young players.
Yep, young and old, because I'm not young.
Yeah. Oh God, I just saw an X the other day. They've got glow in the dark solder mask now.
Really? That's interesting.
I don't know whether or not to think, oh, wow, this is the greatest innovation, or I'm deeply offended. I'm not sure which.
I'm not offended. I'm not sure where I'd use it, but I mean, you could just as easily like go and paint it with glow-in-the-dark paint, I guess, right?
Yeah, but the whole idea is it's done for you, right? Is that all your reference
I don't have a good use for myself, but it doesn't offend me. Yeah. Glow-in-the-dark solder matte. Is it 2 words?
Yeah, and well, you can get every color under the bloody sun now. When I was a boy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You can choose any color as long as it's green.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I don't know. These kiddies these days, spoiled.
Yeah.
Spoiled
I guess
little brats.
they always do UV curing too, so I wonder if that would also like pre-charge it with, like use like UV light to charge up
all right.
glow-in-the-dark stuff too. So maybe it comes pre-charged.
Right. You can order it pre-charged.
Yeah. I'm having trouble finding it though. I'd love to see a link of this. I can't seem to find it online.
Yep. Give me a second. I can never remember how to spell fluorescent.
Oh. Yeah.
Silk screen.
Fluorescent?
Sorry, it's the silk screen, not the solder mask. I said solder mask.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. It's okay.
All right.
Fluorescent.
UV printing equipment. UV. No. It was from PCB Way, I think.
Okay.
So maybe if I
it doesn't matter that much.
Anyway.
It could be useful in certain situations, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't really.
Here it is. Found it. There you go.
Okay.
You've got an X account still, or no? You'll still be able to see the post even if you're not signed in.
I'll be able to see it. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it I got to admit it does. I wonder how long it actually lasts.
Well,
like
you
as in like you charge
UV.
it up. Yeah. How long does it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's kind of Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. But still.
Well, I do think there's going to be like you said, there's already a ton of options out there. That's not gonna stop because there's a lot of people that want that kind of thing. And
no, I'm sure there's
because
cool,
actually,
like PCB art's a thing, So I guess people will be salivating over that. Anyway,
are you sure this is real?
That's the future. The future is here.
Are you sure this is real? This doesn't look real to me.
Really? Well, it's Simon Gayo's. He works. No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Perfect.
My daughter asks me that
it's...
stuff all the time. She goes, "Is blank real?" She's like, "Are elephants real?"
Right.
And at first I laugh at it, and then you think about like the stuff that kids experience these days, like even just media, let alone all the generative stuff that's out there. Is blank real? It's like,
right.
Yeah, I get these questions now. I'm asking that too.
Hang on, it may not be real. You're right. Simon Gayo is GAO. Is the one who posted this Gal. And he copied in PCB Way. He copied in PCB Way, but it's a shout out to the designer Jeremy at _ bot matrix _ So that's the handle, bot matrix _ maybe that's the person who did it. So it might be might be a custom handmade thingy. Might be a custom thing. So maybe you can't actually buy it yet. I think maybe he's hoping that they will do it, but I don't know. Anyway, not sure.
All right.
Anyway, that's cool.
Well, more PCB innovation to come, I'm sure.
In next week's exciting episode.
That's right.
Same time, same bat channel.
That's right.
Catch you next time.
Yep.